Continue. All right.
All
Right, here we are live at the April 13th, 2021 Town Council meeting. We've just wrapped up an executive session. Thank you all. Are we doing a roll call again?
Certainly, for the benefit of, for the benefit of the public, I will take another roll call. Councilwoman Cotton? Oh, I'm sorry. Councilwoman Cotton?
I think she may be having technical difficulties.
Okay, I'll come back. Councilman Elms?
Present.
Councilwoman Foster?
Here.
Councilman Iannacone?
Here.
Councilman Mayer? Here. Councilman Silva?
Present.
Council President Armington?
Here. So we have a quorum. Moving on to a moment of silence.
Hey.
Present.
Council President,
Yes.
can we have another moment of silence for our business administrator whose dad passed a few days ago, and keep in our thoughts and prayers our deepest condolences to the wife and children of Brett Smith, whose wake is this evening, who passed away a couple of days ago.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, moving on to Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of
of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, liberty,
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Before we get started, we do have one announcement. Resolution R-69-2021 is being pulled from the agenda this evening. We also have no consent agenda items, so we'll go right into the public hearing. I will open the floor for a public hearing on any matter. If you would like to address the council, please raise your hand in the Zoom app to indicate that you would like to speak. You will find the raise your hand icon at the bottom left side of your screen. You may also raise your hand by pressing *9 on your telephone. When it is your turn, the moderator will send a signal through the app and ask that you unmute yourself so that you may be heard. To unmute yourself on the telephone, press *6. Kindly state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order. No comments were received via email.
I would just like to step in here, just to let the public know that the clerk is having technical difficulties with her computer, and that's why she's using her phone, which is why we can see her ceiling and not herself. So please continue with the public hearing.
The first public comment is from Nathan Umbriak. Nathan, if you could unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please.
Sure. Good evening, Nathan Umbriak, 1 Randolph Drive, Morristown. So good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and the residents of Morristown about my candidacy for an at-large seat on the town council. My wife Jessica and I moved to Morristown in 2008, and I have worked for Sanofi, a global pharmaceutical company, for almost 15 years. I grew up in central Pennsylvania, so I was not familiar with Morristown. One afternoon, my wife took me for a ride down South Street and past the Green. I saw young families exiting Mayo, fathers walking with their child on their shoulders, and a great sense of community. After one visit, my wife and I decided that we wanted to be part of this community, and we purchased the home where we live today. Shortly after moving to Morristown, I volunteered at the Interfaith Food Pantry in Morris Plains. Initially, I helped clients shop for their groceries, and now I shop for clients and deliver groceries to their homes. I have served this incredible organization, which provides services and emergency food to those in need throughout Morris County for more than 12 years. 2 years ago, I proudly joined their board of trustees, currently serving as secretary, and am active member on their advocacy and government affairs committee. I also serve as chair of the Young Professionals Council to introduce young members of our community to the pantry and brainstorm ideas on how to increase awareness and involvement. I have also volunteered with Covenant House in Newark for over 4 years and have raised awareness for homeless and trafficked youth by raising money and sleeping on the street. It's very humbling to only have a sleeping bag and a cardboard box for one night in November, but I'm passionate about helping those less fortunate. My wife and I were blessed with 4 healthy children, 2 girls and 2 boys, all born at Morristown Memorial Hospital. I have been an active volunteer in the community, including local Boy and Girl Scout troops, YMCA swimming, and my children's home and school associations. 2 years ago, in partnership with Lafayette Learning Center, I started a fatherhood program, which brings fathers and father figures together to network and share their parenting experiences. In 2015, I was appointed by the mayor to the Morristown Environmental Commission and have contributed to such initiatives as townwide cleanups, Kleitman Woods Park, and Foots Pond. In 2016, I joined the Morristown Democratic Committee, currently serving as treasurer, and have participated on committees to promote voter registration and both education and fundraising initiatives. In 2019, I was appointed by the town council to the Morristown Housing Authority, previously serving as vice chair, and am currently a member of their finance subcommittee. My 3 top priorities, if elected to serve on the town council, are affordable housing, environmental issues, parks and recreation. I will discuss my priorities more in the near future. I appreciate your time. I'm an active and engaged husband, father, and member of the community and look forward to the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
Nathan.
Thank you. The next public speaker is Hugh Giordano. Mr. Giordano, if you would unmute yourself, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
I can, thank you.
Excellent. Hugh Giordano, Blackwood, New Jersey. I'm here today as a representative of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, UFCW Local 152. The UFCW represents 1.3 million hardworking families across the US and Canada. We're one of the largest private sector labor unions in the country. And one of the industries that we represent is cannabis, both adult use and medical. I wanted to speak on some of the conversations that are happening in regards to the cannabis industry and what Morristown is proposing. I would like to say that the UFCW opposes a ban. A ban hurts working class people. It hurts jobs. These jobs come with good salaries, good wages, healthcare, dental, vision, paternity leave, and retirement. These are good unionized jobs. In fact, New Jersey passed one of the best labor laws in cannabis in the country. We have better labor laws than New York or Pennsylvania, even within the medical program. So we would be losing out on really good jobs here if we have a ban. I would like to suggest that the council adopt the city of Bayonne's ordinance. It's a conservative ordinance. It only allows two facilities for the size of the city. It's very conservative. But it also has a great layout of how you can choose an applicant to come into Morristown, such as environmental factors, labor factors, hiring process, community factors. And you can look at their resume from other states if they're out-of-towners to see if they fit into not only New Jersey, but into Morristown. These jobs come with well-educated workforce, people with horticulture, botany, chemistry degrees, business degrees. So you'll be losing out on an educated young workforce that could raise a family in your town. So again, I would suggest that please look out Bayonne ordinance. And if you are interested, I have no problem taking you on a tour of the Garden State Dispensary in Woodbridge, which is represented by the UFCW. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Giordano.
The next public speaker is Jeff King. Mr. King, if you would unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Jeffrey King, 24 Elizabeth Parkway, Eatontown. Good evening, Mayor and governing body. I appreciate your time very much. I appreciate being able to be heard. I'm sorry I can't be seen, but I'm agreeing with Mr. Giordano on all of his points. Cannabis would be an opportunity for the community to benefit in myriad ways. Financially is just one small way. Jobs, that's important. That helps people's lives. Good jobs. People are being educated at universities as a major for cannabis. This is serious STEM work. As far as the opportunity for people to be healthier, you want an alternative that's safer than alcohol. You want an alternative that's safer than pharmaceuticals. They're addictive and deadly. I think Morristown actually would be a good, it just seems like the right place to have a dispensary of high quality, of like organic. I think of you as I do, I was in the Berkshires of Massachusetts where they have legal cannabis. And that's the way I see it happening for you, kind of as a healthy thing and some tourism. But I don't know, maybe that's too much Martha Stewart. I don't know, maybe you have a different future. But I just think that there's a real opportunity for the patients, absolutely, like without a doubt. Bend over backwards to get medical access, like high quality medicine is important. You know medicine, you know that fits into your master plan. So without a doubt, go there with that. But as far as spiritual use, adult use, it's a safer alternative, and it is a good opportunity for your community. So I appreciate you letting me say my piece. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. King.
The next public speaker is Jamie Van Sciver. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Jamie, if you would unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please.
Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. I'm with SativaCross.org, a nonprofit advocating for medical patients' rights. And I'm also a medical cannabis patient in the state. I'm really here to mostly speak to you about medical. We all know that the state, 67% just voted for recreational. So we're at a point in time that that's a reality. I'm asking you not to stigmatize medical, not to take that out of reach of the sick and dying people in your community that would prefer to use that as their medical treatment instead of maybe some pharmaceuticals. I myself have immune illness, systemic lupus. My immune system attacks my soft tissue, so my vital organs, tendons, ligaments, muscles, skin. I was having to take infusions, immune suppressants, anti-malarials to protect my kidneys. I wasn't doing well. And lab work doesn't lie. I'm a million times better on my own cannabis regimen. I'm not taking any pharmaceuticals. People are benefiting from this. The sick, the dying, people are suffering, like seizure disorders, cancer. There's veterans with disabilities now. They have PTSD. Veterans are killing themselves at a rate of 25 per day. I'm not sure if you're familiar with antidepressants, specifically SSRIs, commonly given to veterans. It increases the thought of suicide desire. We really have to do better. I really don't understand when we're at a point in time that people are, for the majority, voting for recreational. Why, when there's so much education and resources available, would you still choose to stigmatize and make it difficult for chronic ill and chronic pain patients? These conditions are not going away. If they start taking pharmaceuticals, you can pretty much expect that they're going to be building tolerances, and in turn, their body needs and wants more. And we're just ravaging people. This is not the way. We have an endocannabinoid system in our body. It's there just as an anatomical fact as our cardiovascular, respiratory systems. and it's meant to work with the plant that was put on this earth and the cannabinoids present in it. At least stop stigmatizing medical. There's people in your community that are already suffering so terribly, and to know that if they took Percocets and everything else, you guys would be cool, and you can have that in your community at all the. Oh, did you guys vote for all those pharmacies that are selling the fentanyl and the Oxycontin that are killing people? That's the stuff you're using Narcan for. Cannabis has never killed anybody. Cannabis is an exit drug. And every single time that Narcan's used in your community from this point on, I want you to wonder, is any of that blood on your hands? Thanks.
The next public speaker is Lefty Grimes, sativacross.org. If you would please unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Edward Lefty Grimes, 84 Hanover Road, East Hanover. I'm with Sativa Cross, a 501c3. We're here in New Jersey. We advocate for disabled rights and cannabis patients' rights. And we're here to urge you to maybe make a distinction between the medical and the recreational. It is a very big distinction. You have people that are sick and dying and that are pushed back in line. When they get to the front of that line, the strains that they need are gone. The amounts that they need are gone. We need your help. We're a protected class of people. However, we're getting hit from all sides. We're getting taxed on our medicine. We get a 2% wheelchair tax. We get a 2% cancer tax. And we don't even have representation for that taxation. And where I come from in Bayonne, originally, there's no wheelchair access. So we're getting taxed in Bayonne for wheelchair taxes and nothing to show for it. No wheelchair access. Morristown is actually wonderful for wheelchair access. The only place that's not wheelchair accessible is the recruitment place. Go figure. But Morristown is actually very good with the police have been great to us patients. They allow us to use our medication wherever we are allowed to use tobacco. The cops understand that. We're sick people. We need help. Our medicine is moldy. We're buying moldy medicine, overpriced moldy medicine now. That's what we're stuck with. And you wonder where patients are going to the black market. We're getting hit from all sides here. Like I said, the taxes is bad enough, but would you tax insulin? That's a slippery slope we're going down if we start taxing medicines. How would you like it if we taxed your medicine? Something that you need, and it was priced out of, and plus our insurance doesn't pick it up either, which is another horrible issue. We need your help. Consider yourself in a wheelchair for a day, how that would feel. I've been to hundreds of council meetings, literally. And I've asked hundreds of council people, spend a day in a wheelchair with me. And not one has taken me up on that, to spend a day in a wheelchair with me. I think it would be a breeze in Morristown because Morristown is very wheelchair accessible. If you guys want to do that with me, that would be fine. But there's no dispensaries in Morris County. I can't get my medicine here. I have to go out of town, somewhere far away, 30 minutes at least, to get my medicine. Now, picture yourself in a wheelchair with no money and no access. You have to pay for an Uber ride. Well, Uber doesn't take wheelchairs a lot of times. So you got to consider the sick and dying when you do this ordinance. 68%. 68%. No, not the number you're thinking of. 68% of Jesus's miracles were for the disabled. That's true. Pastor Tim, Liquid Church, taught me that. And he also taught me that there's no left or right. There's only an up or down. So Republicans and Democrats voted for this bill. But we need to do what's right by God and help the sick and the dying first before we do anything else. Across the river, they can grow cannabis for fun, for kicks, for jollies. Over in New Jersey, we grow cannabis for your sick kid or if you're someone with cancer, you're going to jail. So please consider the sick and the dying when you make an ordinance about cannabis. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and the morning, we will remember them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes. The next speaker is Rev Ria. Can you please unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please?
I'm sorry, that's Marina, Marina, last name Rebman, Rebmann, and I'm in Sayreville, New Jersey. And I'd like to discuss a little bit my journey with medical marijuana and how much it's helped me. Between the ages of 1 and 4.5, I had a bunch of surgeries on my leg. I was born with a birth defect. Back then, the parents weren't allowed to be in the hospital room with you at night. They weren't allowed to stay. They had a certain hours where the parents had to go away, which was really scary and terrifying for a little kid. You know, when you have surgery, when a kid has surgery, the mother and father are allowed to walk the kid into the room, carry the kid, hold the kid, give the little kisses. No, I was wheeled in there and told to be a big girl. I was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Be a big girl. Don't cry. So what do? You have anxiety attacks. And then a couple of years ago, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I lost 50 pounds in 3 weeks. It took me over a month for me to get my medical marijuana card. And it was horrible. The chemo, they tried to give me all these different types of drugs. It didn't work. Once I started getting my medical marijuana, it changed me. I have such bad anxiety. Sometimes when I see doctors, they will say, please smoke before you see me. Have you ever heard of a doctor saying, please smoke before you see me? In your town, in Morristown, you have 9 different doctors, different types of doctors who prescribe medical marijuana. Just imagine being a patient. It's hard for you to get around. You go to a doctor and then you got to drive. You got to drive like 30 minutes away, an hour away. Some of the doctors are family practice, an oncology doctor. Now, when you have an oncology doctor, you're upset, you're tired, you're sick from the medicine. You just want to go back home. If he prescribes it, you don't want to drive so far away. It's horrible. You even have a pediatric doctor who prescribes this. So you have a child, and you're in the town, and you have a pediatric doctor describe this, and yet you have to go so far away to get it. This is about care and compassion. This is about love. This is about giving back to the community you're serving. It's just medical. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, please do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman, there's no more public speakers.
All right, we'll close the public hearing. Council responses to public hearing. I guess I'll just start off. Most of the comments were about the cannabis issue. Morristown is the last meeting we set out to create a committee of residents to devise legislation about it. I would say that we have heard all your comments and appreciate your input. We've received a dozen or so of interested people, and I've asked each of the ward council members to make a recommendation about 2 of their preference for two members from their ward to represent the ward, along with the original council committee of, I believe it was Sandy, Bob, and I, along with the mayor and his 2 recommended council public members. The committee will also include our town attorney, Mr. Pawar, Jillian Barrick, if she is interested, and Jen Waring, the Morristown Partnership director. So we look forward to having some productive meetings about that over the coming months. Any other responses to public comments?
Oh, Stefan, real quickly, if Mr. Giordano is on, if we could just get his contact info, because at some point I would like to take a tour of the facility if we don't have his contact. Thank you.
I believe he was with
The
Garden
UFCCU.
State.
Councilwoman, I'll get that for you.
Great,
Thank you.
All right, moving on to mayor's proclamations and presentations.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you for the public bringing that important topic to the town council. We have a couple of proclamations. The first one I want to do is Arbor Day. I know Kristen Ace, if she was here, I would hand it to her, but she can get it at Town Hall at Kristen's office. Chris, I'm just going to read it into the record. Whereas 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting of trees. The holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Arbor Day now is observed throughout the nation and the world. Trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide wildlife habitats. Trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, countless other wood products. Trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Daugherty, Mayor of the town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2021 as Arbor Day in the town of Morristown, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day, support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and to plant and care for trees to promote the well-being of this and future generations. Along with the business administrator and the council, we are very pro-tree as we continue to support through finances the planting of trees in our public ways. We are very happy that we have a very active Shade Tree Commission led by Kristen Ace. Sandy Mayer is also on that commission. They do great work in the planting of the trees. I know Councilwoman Cotton and many others are very pro environment and keeping our shade tree and our canopy in the best shape that we can as we continue to deal with climate change. The next one is actually brought up by our Councilwoman Sandy Mayer. This is a proclamation on child abuse prevention. So I'll read this into the record, Councilwoman, and you can pick it up at Kristen's office. Child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, regardless of age, race, gender, or economic situation, and continues to be a problem in America. 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18. This reported maltreatment is only a portion of the overall problem threatening our children. For so many cases going unreported, and today's technology has brought with it a new and dangerous form of child endangerment, the online predator. Child abuse and neglect can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse and neglect. And these consequences affect the community as a whole, and finding solutions needs to be attended by the community as a whole. Effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations and business and law enforcement agencies. We acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse, neglect, and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. April is recognized by the United States Congress as Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Daugherty, Mayor of the town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim April 2021 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the town of Morristown, and I urge all community members, citizens, organizations, and businesses to increase their participation in our efforts to prevent the abuse and neglect of our children, thereby strengthening and protecting the community in which they live. Thank you, Councilman, for bringing this to the light. We appreciate the letting the community know about this. And it's something that we can never turn a blind eye to if we know it's going on. So thank you for bringing that to our attention and for bringing this proclamation to the light.
You're welcome. Thanks for reading it.
You're welcome. And you can pick it up at Kristen's office because, you brought it to light. Okay, a couple of things I want to just quickly run over. I want to thank the fire department for the Easter Bunny visiting the neighborhoods. They do great work. They're always there for whatever we need. And I want to just publicly thank the fire department and the Department of Public Safety, Mike Cochran, to getting this off the ground and making sure that the Easter Bunny got through some neighborhoods. Future events, mark your calendars, May 1st, 9 a.m. to noon. It's the Shred event. It's a great event. Bring your bags and your boxes, no more than 10 pounds. All those papers that you have stored in a closet or in your basement, you can get it. Bob's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. You can shred it, get rid of it. It's safe. All those documents that may have your Social Security on them, may have statements, financial statements you've had for 15 years, shred them. Get rid of them. And we have that event May 1st in the back hall, the back of Town Hall in the parking lot, 9 a.m. to noon. It's a great event. Please get rid of those papers for once and for all. Reminder, I'm sure our liaison to the partnership will also speak about this. April is Morristown Restaurant Month. Morristown-nj.org for details. A couple of special announcements. Robin Kesselmeyer's retirement is coming after 30 years of service, so we're really going to miss Robin. And we're going to wish her well, coming up very shortly, and we will miss Robin's smiling face around town. Been around for a few years, and we will surely miss her. I mentioned again our heartfelt condolences to our very own business administrator, Jillian Barrick, for the passing of her father, and for the family of Brett Smith. You're in our hearts and thoughts and prayers. Also, finally, the registration for vaccines, Morristown Rite Aid, riteaid.com, cvs.com, atlantichealth.org are all accepting registrations for appointments effective April 19th. 16 and over are eligible. Any Morristown resident 55 or older that needs assistance, they can call our office at 973-292-6626. That again is 973-292-6626. We will get you scheduled. We will get you to where you need to get vaccinated. And I would even say, even if you're under 55, call and we'll give you the information that you need if we can't get you because it's 55 and up. But starting April 19th, which is just a few days away. So I know as of today, we had 40 or 50 people in line getting scheduled. So people are getting vaccinated. And I think that's the way that it's going to have to go. And I think I'm not forgetting anything, Council President, that would be it. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
If you hear of anything else, let me know. Thank you.
I just want to say, Mayor Doherty, I gave that number out to a neighbor of mine who's a senior who was very upset she couldn't get an appointment, and our town got her an appointment in 4 days. So thank you. I appreciate it. She thanked you and asked me to thank you.
If I may, Council President,
Yes.
it's all about the team you have around, and my office, working with the Public Safety Director, Mike Cochran, is really doing a yeoman's job getting these people scheduled and vaccinated. So yes, the credit comes out of my office and Jillian Barrett, but really it's our office staff and our Director of Public Safety, Michael Cochran, is really taking this by the reins and really is doing a great job.
Thank you, Mayor. All right.
Stefan, I just wanted to let everyone know I'm back on the call. I apologize. My computer battery died unexpectedly, and it took me a couple minutes to get back on.
All right. Thank you. So moving on to Council Liaison reports.
Stefan, the Morristown Partnership, the mayor mentioned, April is still Restaurant Month. Gave you the website. Go on the website, start participating. it's a great event. The partnership does meet tomorrow. They're in the process of elections of new officers. And not much else except that in the future, I will be sharing with the council and others the economic impact statement that was prepared as a result of the grant that was received by the partnership to assist the businesses in Morristown to stay open from generous donors. But there was an economic impact report performed as a result of that grant, and I will be sharing that in the future once received.
Thanks, Bob. Just touching on the partnership, a peripheral project between the partnership and the administration and Morris Arts. They've been working on sort of empowering local youth. In this case, one of our local artists, Dan Fenelon, and the high school arts mentoring program to put together art in the window casings of Century 21. So be on the lookout for art displays in that facility.
Council President, you brought something to mind, if I may.
Yes.
If you saw the post today, it was with the New Jersey State Police recruiter on South Street. We have their recruiting information at Town Hall. I'm going to ask Public Safety Director to post, Chief of Police. We will post. They are actively searching and seeking recruits for the New Jersey State Police. They have several openings. They're looking for people to join the state police. It's a great career. So look for that. We will get it posted on our public safety page, our town page, so they know where to go to the website. And it closes at, I think, the 23rd of April. So you want to get your applications in now. It was a great meeting. Trooper Fernandez, very, very educated on all about the state police and the benefits of being a New Jersey trooper. So something that we might want to share in your constituency through your emails. We will get that information out to everybody tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
The Morristown Parking Authority meets on April 20th. Nothing much to report other than, as I reported last council meeting, they're working with the town and the businesses on providing parking spaces for outdoor dining.
Morris Housing Authority, there was a resolution amending the admission and occupancy policy for seniors, doing now for 62 and over, which is the federal guideline. And also now there are, since yesterday, April 12th, applications are open for senior housing. The 3 locations, which are 31 and 39 Early Street and 29 Ann Street. Preferences must be given to applicants who live and or work in Morristown. And also those applications are found at the MHA page. Also the guidelines are not only the age, but also 3 levels of income: extremely low, very low, and low. So I think it's a great opportunity for seniors 62 and up to apply this time for housing at the MHA. Next meeting will be on April 26th. That's all.
Thank you, David.
The Shade Tree Commission report is on April 23rd. We are going to be picking up the Salem oak tree seedling. It's going to be planted in a public space in Morristown once it is strong enough. This was the Salem oak was a gigantic tree that unfortunately died, and every municipality in New Jersey was offered a seedling. And this was last year, and due to COVID, they didn't get to distribute them. So we're getting it this year, and we'll let everybody know when it's going to be planted. On May 1st at 10:30 a.m. in Burnham Park is our Arbor Day celebration with the mayoral planting of 30 trees. I believe the council did receive invitations. There was tree donations from the Morristown Rotary Club, the Burnham Park Association, and a resident, and he'll be part of this planting. So everybody's invited to come out to Burnham Park May 1st, 10:30 a.m. It's a popular day in town. Also on May 1st, from 2 to 4 p.m., after the shredding event in the town hall parking lot, we're going to be giving out a tree seedling, first come, first serve. And it's a limited supply, and they'll give directions on what to do with the planting. This year, we're going to be doing our fall planting in wards 2 and 4. If anybody knows of any locations that would be able to fit a tree, please let us know. A lot of the trees in Ward 2 we're going to be planting on property because there's no sidewalk, there's no public space, so we would need permission. So if you're driving around and see an area that you think could use a tree, please let us know the address and we will get out there and view it. We have an application into the J. Porter Community Tree Project for $2,500 to be used to plant trees in the Jersey Cottage Park in Ward 2 to replace the invasive burning bush that has been growing there. And I just want to let everybody know, one of our shade tree commissioners, Aaron Oliver, he's very involved in our town. He's active member of the National Guard, and he's been deployed to Washington to protect our capital in these uncertain times that we're experiencing right now. And I just want to wish him well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
One more interruption, Council President. As I was reminded to mark your calendars, it's a little early, but mark it for May 15th. The Environmental Commission will be doing the townwide cleanup. It's a few weeks. I usually talk about it at the end of the month, but because of COVID last year, this is going to be a big cleanup. So mark your calendars. May 15th back at Town Hall, and the Environmental Commission will be running the townwide cleanup, and let's hope we get a lot of people so we can get every bit of trash up in the town. Thank you.
Thank you, man. All right, if that's it for the council liaison reports, we'll move on to regular business. There are no ordinances for introduction. We have one ordinance for adoption.
That's correct. We have ordinance O-3-2021 for public hearing and adoption. An ordinance of the town of Morristown amending and supplementing chapter 30, land development, section 5, environmental regulations by replacing subsection 5C, stormwater control regulations.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-3-2021.
Second.
Okay. At this time, I will open up a public hearing on ordinance O-3-2021 only. Please be reminded that you must raise your hand in the Zoom app or press *9 on your phone to indicate that you would like to speak. State your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less.
Councilman, I don't see any hands raised for public hearing.
Okay, we will close the public hearing for resolution for ordinance.
Okay, any comments or questions from council? Okay, on the adoption of ordinance O-3-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone, Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance O-3-2021 is adopted. We have 3 resolutions on the agenda for adoption this evening. Unless a member of council would like to pull one or more for separate consideration, I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers R-68-2021, R-70-2021, and R-71-2021.
Can you
Margo,
pull
can you
68?
pull 70 and 71, please?
Pull all of
I
them.
guess we'll go individually then.
Okay, so resolution R-68-2021, resolution authorizing the property owner of 31 Headby Road, Morristown, to install an individual subsurface sewage disposal system on the property.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution R-68-2021.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a quick question, but I also know that Councilwoman Cotton has questions. So real quickly, is this make their water bill exempt from the sewer fees, Jillian? I mean, we recently waived sewer fees on somebody who didn't realize that their water sprinkler was attached to their sewer fees. And I'm just wondering how this works since they will not be using our sewers.
You know what? That question was not raised by the property owner. This was simply limited to the sewage disposal system, which they have an existing, an older sewage disposal system, like a septic that's already in place that needs to be replaced and brought up to modern standards. They're not currently attached to the sewer system. That's a question that I would have to address. That was not raised by the property owner in the discussion regarding the exemption that you're considering tonight.
I just don't want it to be down the road that they come back to us with this huge sewer fee that they're going to ask for a waiver on.
Well, this has been in place right along. They've never been connected to our sewer. So whatever fees they've been paying, right, whatever fees they've been paying, you know, there hasn't been any change, and there has not been proposed that there would be any change.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Nope, call the question.
On the adoption of Resolution R-68-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution is adopted. Resolution R-70-2021, resolution designating official tow companies for the town of Morristown for the calendar year 2021.
I'll make a motion to adopt R-70-2021.
Second.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes, Jillian, of the 5 companies that are being authorized as public towers and private towers in town, any public complaints about any one of those companies in their last few years in their role as towers in town?
Not personally aware of any, no.
Okay, so no public people have come forward and said inappropriately towed or anything like that? No complaints?
I'm not personally aware of any. I can certainly poll the public safety director or the police chief.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for it, but I think next year, we see this every year and there's been some issues in the past. I think that's just a question that we should ask when we bring it back to council.
Sure. Cool.
Councilman, the way it works is the clerk works with the police department to vet these companies, and the police department would have raised an issue and would have objected to a specific company. But I understand your point, and we can get you that information.
And actually, Councilman, I did hear from the public safety director that there have been no complaints this year.
Perfect. Thank you, Jillian.
Yeah.
All right, call the question.
Okay. On the adoption of Resolution R-70-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number R-71-2021, resolution adding Messler Auto Body, C&L Towing, and Basking Ridge Towing as private trespass towing companies.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution R-71-2021.
I'll second.
Councilman Iannacone?
Questions answered?
Okay. On the adoption of Resolution R-71-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution is adopted.
That concludes the regular business. There's no unfinished business. There's no new business. Is there anything else anyone else would like to say tonight?
Good night, Council President.
Yes, sir. Was that good night?
That was good
Make a
night.
motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Meeting
night, all.
adjourned.
Night.
Good night,
Have a good night.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Aye.
Take care.